Welcome to Keith Knight. Don't tread on anyone. The Libertarian Party presidential race currently leads with Justin Amash, congressman from Michigan, and Jacob Hornberger. I want to go through their websites and just take a look at how they are trying to spread the message using the mechanism of politics, which I totally support, even though I am a libertarian anarchist. So here is, Justin Amash has one website. This is where people can go to get the ideas of freedom, natural law, morality. 500,000 people are possibly going to come across this. So let's see what his introduction is for many people who don't understand the philosophy and have not heard of it. First impressions, pretty short. But hey, nice picture. We're ready. Ready for Hillary. For something new. Well, the fact that something's new doesn't make it moral. So once libertarianism is no longer new, then we need to get rid of it. So far, so bad. For a government that secures our rights. Interesting thing, if I go to Olive Garden and I say, hey, give me some food and I'll give you some money, and they don't give me the food, I don't give them the money, obviously. My work doesn't pay me, well, I stop giving them work, obviously. So when government doesn't protect our rights, and, we get mugged or something bad happens, or, terrorists attack us, or they say we have a right to be educated and our kids don't come out educated, then does government go to jail? Then do we have the right to stop chipping in for taxes? This seems like a unilateral contract that is totally unjustified. For equality before the law. So no congressman will have any more rights than I do, or any other group. Congress and Walmart have the same amount of rights if we have equality before the law. For an end to cronyism. Few people know what that means. I'm not sure why that is just assumed on your lead page, the one website that you bring people to. For a government that fulfills its purpose and recognizes its limits. What makes government a unique institution? What the hell? For practical approaches based in humility and trust of the people. Nothing about what freedom means, nothing about the non-aggression principle. For an honest, principled president. What principles? Why are you hiding them from us? Tell us what they are. If you really care about them, come on. They'd be front and center on this single website that you want people to visit when your 500,000 followers go to your page. Principled president who will defend the Constitution and put individuals first. The Constitution, so because you happen to be born in a place that had this Constitution, you believe in defending it? Is it inherently moral for everyone in the world? Or just because you happen to be born with this Constitution? What about, so if you got into political power in North Korea, would you implement the North Korean Constitution? Are constitutions inherently valuable? Or is there something more moral, like the non-aggression principle? And Constitution is really just a piece of paper. Let's do this. Donate. Didn't mention any of those principles. Join Justin. Email address, zip code, submit. Facebook, Twitter. Yeah, we went to his Twitter before. Contact us. Privacy policy. Terms of issue. Paid for by Amash for America Exploratory Committee. Copyright. I'm not seeing where we can click on the issues. Usually they'll have something like continue on to site. So this is it. This is what Justin Amash wants non-libertarians to see when they go to his website. He wants to let them know that we're ready. New, equality, cronyism. This is a nothing page. Jacob Hornberger. Unfortunately, only 9,200 followers. Hey, however, the truth is a powerful message, and anyone who hears it, they are the better for having done so. So right when I go to Jacob Hornberger's website, he has the issues here. Justin Amash, by the way, is a sitting congressman. So it's not like, well, he doesn't know how things run. He doesn't really know how to work stuff. He has every tool at his disposal to make that site gorgeous. Jacob Hornberger, and make it informative and worthwhile and efficient at spreading the message. Jacob Hornberger, right when I see this, I see an interesting message. U.S. troop increase in Afghanistan. I see Jacob Hornberger, upcoming events, so people can stay updated, join, register, get involved. And even when you go down the page, you see Meet Jacob, you get an introduction to who he is, and you get, here's where it is, the issues. Foreign policy, monetary policy, Social Security. Let's just pick on one. Let's go to Social Security. Abolish Social Security. Where does Justin Amash stand? Amash believes in being ready, and he believes in something being new. Okay. Abolish Social Security. Well, we're not at a principle yet. He's just making a statement. It's good to know that we can clearly see where he stands on something like this, and he's unapologetic. Now, why is he picking on poor Social Security? Is he against helping grandma? Social Security was no part of American life for more than a century after the nation was established. That's because the American ancestors rejected the principle of coerced charity. All Amash says is, we're going to have a principled president. Hornberger explains the principle of why Social Security is unjust. Social Security is not a retirement account in which people put their money. From the very beginning, the socialist program has been nothing more than a government-mandated welfare program for seniors. Yeah, exactly. Robert Lafayette was asked during the Social Security discussions under FDR, well, shouldn't we allow people to opt out of this retirement plan? I mean, if they don't think that's what's best for them. And Robert Lafayette, the senator at the time, literally said, the reason that's not going to work is because people might choose something else. And if they choose something else, that competition is going to put Social Security at risk. As all welfare, well, let's see where he stands on the welfare state. As all welfare since the days of Otto von Bismarck was used to create a need for the state's existence. So when people obviously saw the state is immoral, they'd still say, yeah, but it benefits people by stealing money and giving it to them, so let's not resist the state. Right away, welfare state. Jacob Hornberger, jacobforliberty.com. Separate charity and the state. Very clear. America's welfare state system is based on the concept of mandatory charity, which isn't really charity at all. Genuine charity is based on voluntary giving. These are the principles we're already getting from non-congressman who is pretty much new to this versus Amash, not on the coercive apparatus of government. How bad do we need this message heard by the masses? Government is violence. The market is voluntarism. That's absolutely what we need. Let's go to gun control. People have the unfettered right to own and possess guns and other weapons. That is what private property is all about. We need someone absolutely advocating private property. Let's go to the drug war and see where legalize drugs, all of them. Yes, my body, my choice. That is the correct position. We don't even need to get into the details. Regulation, separate economy and the state. Absolutely, for the same reason we need separation of church and state. But what if someone believes in the wrong religion? I don't care. Freedom is of inherent value. But what if there's a religion and people give money to it and it doesn't yield them positive results? Yes, bad things will happen, but it's still better than the state violently stopping people from pursuing their ends. A genuine free market system is one in which economic enterprise is free from government control, regulation, and interference. Oh, I'm sure leftists are going to really back us up on this one because they're so against Russian interference. And Russia interfered in our election. Oh, that's what free enterprise means. It means voluntary. Government regulation of economic activity destroys economic liberty and lowers people's standard of living. Huge point right there. Absolutely. Minimum wage, which is an attack on the poor. I don't think Justin Amash understands this, and if he does, how the fuck are we supposed to know? Those people whose labor is valued at less than the artificially imposed minimum will not get hired by employers. Yeah, that's a good point. It's legal to give someone no job experience and give them no money, but it's illegal to give them $1 an hour, $2 an hour. Is school going to be illegal because that's people working for free? Those people whose labor is valued will not get hired by employers. The minimum wage causes them to become permanently unemployed. That's why there has been a permanent, ongoing, chronicle annual unemployment rate among black teenagers of 30 to 40%. I don't like the identity politics, but hey, take what you can get. That goes on there. Let's look at free trade. End all tariffs, trade restrictions, trade war sanctions, and embargoes. Look, if goods don't cross borders, troops surely will. And we need absolute free trade between cities and counties and states and countries and continents and maybe planets. So, yeah, absolutely. This is the total moral position, and Hornberger makes it very clear. Amash is so pathetic. Oh, and look, also, if you're not that much of a reader, so Hornberger does an excellent job of getting his points quickly explained, saying what the point is, and then his quick reasoning. That's absolutely something we need, someone who can do that efficiently, because, look, I wish people would read For a New Liberty by Murray Rothbard. Also, we have some, I wish there weren't so many videos about Justin Amash, but hey, we can go into older entries. Tons of his positions on here available at any time. I want to quickly look at, national security state. Look, he makes all of these visible. Education, here's a big one. Separate school and state. Where the fuck does Justin Amash stand on that? We have no clue. All we know is that he's ready. He's ready for principles that he's going to keep secret. That is the entire website he has chosen to show us. God damn. Education separates school and state, obviously. Just as you shouldn't be forced to fund Catholic church school, and there shouldn't be compulsory attendance to Catholic church education, you shouldn't be forced to fund government schools. You should be forced to fund Koch brothers schools. Anyone who disagrees with me is anti-education and just wants everyone to be homeschooled and have no social skills. Absolutely ridiculous. Here is one of the many reasons I absolutely support Jacob Hornberger, lift sanctions on Iran. Absolutely. Punishing civilians for what the piece of shit government does, just like they did on Iraq, causing, Jesus knows how many deaths after the Gulf War. Holding people accountable for what their government does when there's never even a frickin' vote on it. Unbelievable. The more the state plans, the more difficult planning becomes for the individual. Absolutely. We have him retweeting Ludwig von Mises. This is the guy that we absolutely need to rally around, not Justin Amash. Absolute fraudulent, nothing, pathetic sack of statism that he is. Thank you for watching Keith Knight. Don't tread on anyone. Please spread the word of Jacob Hornberger. I'm not asking you to vote and say the state is legitimate. I am asking you to tell people, hey, there is someone in government who actually has plans, who is making a coherent argument for the libertarian position. He believes it leads to minarchism. I believe that's incorrect. I believe it leads to anarchism. However, he is really getting the conversation started, just as Ron Paul did, just as, Thomas Jefferson or John Locke did, or F.A. Hayek, or Ludwig von Mises was also a minarchist. So was Milton Friedman. These people are absolutely moving the needle in the right direction. Please support Jacob Hornberger's work, and don't make it seem like libertarians are just people who sit around just philosophizing with books. We're actually out there trying to communicate the message to the masses. Thank you for watching Keith Knight. Don't tread on anyone. And fuck you, Justin Amash.
Jeff, you're an anarchist. Most people believe anarchy is a bad thing. Why have you embraced it?
Well, first of all, their belief is wrong. The government really wants to destroy that word or make it seem scary, because if everyone believed in anarchy, there would be no government. And so for the last 100 years or so, anytime someone breaks a window or a bomb goes off, they say it's anarchist. But true anarchy really just means that no ruler. It's actually a Greek word. An is without, and monarchy is ruler. And it just means you don't want to be ruled by anyone. You don't want a king or a president to rule you and tell you what to do. And if you take that to its logical extent, that basically means that you do not want to actually initiate violence, or you don't want anyone to initiate violence against you. And of course the government is based on violence. As Mao said, democracy comes out of a barrel of a gun. If the government wasn't using violence and theft, they wouldn't be government, they'd be a regular business. So anarchy is a beautiful philosophy. It's really starting to catch on now. People are starting to understand that it's a beautiful thing, and it's not a dangerous thing or a bad thing. Some people are scared because we've had governments our whole lives. Everyone everywhere in the world's had them. So people can't imagine what a world would be like without them. But I can tell you it would be much, much better and more peaceful and more prosperous.
So it sounds like